Yeah, so the city of Birmingham, the Birmingham City Council, with being proposed by Mayor Randall Woodfin, passed a shelter-in-place ordinance, which is essentially a 24-hour curfew for the city of Birmingham. What that does is it enforces the recommendations of the Jefferson County Department of Health that were already in place. So we ask that the businesses that have been open and have been legally open, of course, under the recommendations of the Jefferson County Department of Health that are deemed essential can continue to operate. Those employees can continue to report to and from work, and that can continue as long as the Jefferson County Department of Health does not change their guidelines. So what that means in terms of businesses, what does that look like? We're talking about restaurants can continue curbside pickup, residents can continue going out to restaurants to obtain curbside pickup. They can go to their pharmacies, they can go to their medical appointments, they can go to the local hardware store that might be open, or whatever else they need to do on a day-to-day to keep themselves going and what's deemed essential. Also, some professional organizations are also considered essential at this time. All financial institutions or things that are related to finance or a financial institution. So that not only includes credit unions and banks, but it also includes insurance companies, law firms, things like that. Professional organizations will continue to be open and are not restricted, nor are the employees restricted in any way. Another question that we've been asked a lot of is, can you travel to and from your work if you live or work either inside or outside the city limits, whichever one it is? And yes, this has no restriction on travel in the city of Birmingham going to employment. Whether you live in Birmingham and work outside of the city limits of Birmingham, or whether you live outside the city limits of Birmingham and work within the city limits of Birmingham, this does not affect any travel through the city of Birmingham. What this does limit is it limits groups of people gathering. So one problem that we've had, especially in some of our public parks and even Railroad Park, we've had groups of people either playing organized sports together, large groups of people, or in one park we had about 150 people congregating. In some neighborhoods and smaller neighborhood parks, and also in some streets, we've had 10 to 30 people congregating and whatnot. Any type of congregating is not allowed. And what this ordinance does is it gives us an enforcement tool. So we're able to use, through the Birmingham Police Department, we as a municipality are able to enforce the guidelines and the regulations that the Jefferson County Department of Health have already put forward. So when we talk about enforcement, the city of Birmingham really wants to use the carrot and not the stick. The goal here is to have the Birmingham Police Department not have to use any of their enforcement powers in making sure that the Jefferson County Department of Health guidelines are followed. So the city of Birmingham is asking not only those that live within Birmingham, our residents, but also those that work and might travel to Birmingham for whatever reason, to rally around us and let's knock this thing out together. If we can do the shelter in place for a limited amount of time, right now it looks like a 2-week amount of time, to flatten the curve, to make sure that our hospitals have the beds necessary to treat the patients that require treatment within a hospital, then we can get out of the business of this shelter in place and of limiting the movement inside the city of Birmingham. So what we ask is the public to not congregate together and to follow the guidelines of the Jefferson County Department of Health so that we do not have to have any enforcement action. But at the same time, we do want to let the public know that that option is there. It's been passed by the council and it's now on the table for Birmingham Police to enforce the law. We ask that they use their discretion. Hopefully they can break something up and disperse a crowd. But if people are going to flagrantly just disobey the law and the ordinance, then the police department and the city of Birmingham does have the legal tool and the legal right necessary to make sure that this ordinance is being followed. Yeah, so a lot of the vast majority of our citizens have already been abiding by the shelter-in-place ordinance that was passed yesterday. So really, those citizens will see no change. The reason that we had to do this is to one, drive home the message that the city of Birmingham is serious about enforcing the rules and regulations that the Jefferson County Department of Health have placed forward for the entire county. It is important that we do so we can conserve the amount of hospital resources that our healthcare professionals have been communicating with us that are there or not there, so that we can help flatten that curve, and so everybody needing medical help, whether they're suffering from an automobile accident or COVID-19, will have access to medical care. So this was a decision based completely around having access to medical care, and it was done with all of our experts in the field within Jefferson County. So I would say this: if you would not see a change in your day-to-day lifestyle if you were already abiding by the recommendations of the Jefferson County Department of Health. This ordinance does give us the teeth that are necessary, that if we do have to make an enforcement action, we do have the legal right and the capability to do so. We are the first and only city in the state of Alabama to pass a small business relief package, where we're allowing small businesses under 50 employees to apply for a 180-day no-interest loan so that they can keep their employees on the payroll. You know, the city of Birmingham is in a leadership position. We're by far the largest city in the largest metro area within the state of Alabama. So this is business as usual. We faced a lot of hurdles and a lot of adversity throughout the city of Birmingham, and we have always overcome those hurdles, and we've always overcome them and ended up on top and ended up a better city and a better state and a better nation as a result. And I think that we're going to continue that type of leadership in the city of Birmingham. We want to be an example not only for the entire state of Alabama, but for the nation, because if the city of Birmingham can do it and be a leader in this, so can any other municipality within the United States.
Anything else you just want to add? Cool.